Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here, and this is my theory video for the character of Jerry from The Walking Dead. When will Jerry die? Okay, so we're on season 8 right now, early on in season 8 currently, and I don't think Jerry is going to die this season. I think that they're going to kind of use him as a red herring because he's one of the most popular new characters. As far as like new characters from last season go, Jerry is definitely like one of the top 3 popular new characters. He's probably the most popular newer character besides Negan. Like Jerry just blew up in popularity. Like almost everyone loves Jerry. I love Jerry. I think Jerry's awesome. He's just funny as shit. Like every scene he's in is just a classic. He's great. You know, maybe he works best in small doses, but I do believe that he has the potential to have a really big role. And you know, of course, once he gets a really big role, that might mean that he dies, because that's how The Walking Dead works. If you say more than 5 words, and your name is not Rick, Daryl, or Michonne, you get killed. But I don't think Jerry's going anywhere at the moment. I could be wrong. I think as far as this season goes, there will be a lot of deaths and a lot of people will die, but Jerry will not be one of them. I can almost guarantee Jerry will make it to season 9. I mean, I don't know, but that's just my prediction, my estimate, because I just feel like he has more potential. He has a lot more to offer as Ezekiel's like bodyguard and Ezekiel's helper, and I think they want us to think that Jerry will die. They're going to tease us with his death a lot. They're going to make it seem like he's going to die. They're going to put him in danger a lot in season 8 and this season. They're going to make us fear for his life a lot, but he's not going to die. I think some of Ezekiel's other men, like Daniel, Alvaro, Deanne, and then Shiva, I think they could all die. I mean, Daniel might already be dead because at the end of last episode, he like dived in front of Ezekiel, and I couldn't quite tell, but a lot of people that were with Ezekiel got shot, and there's just blood everywhere, like multiple times. And I think I can almost guarantee that Daniel's dead. Alvaro, I don't know, and then Deanne's with Tara and Jesus right now, or at least she should be. And then I think Shiva could die, but I think Jerry will make it. I think Jerry will be one of the survivors. I think he can almost definitely make it to season 9, because I think Ezekiel will make it to season 9. If Ezekiel gets his comic death, then he should almost definitely make it to A New Beginning. Then and A New Beginning should be season 9. I don't want them to rush A New Beginning. They could do maybe like the last couple of episodes of this season, of season 8, could cover some of A New Beginning, but they're not going to be able to get to the heads on spikes by then. So Ezekiel will most definitely make it to season 9, and I think Jerry will most definitely make it, because Ezekiel needs that familiar character to have around besides Carol and Morgan. I mean, Ezekiel obviously has a relationship with Carol and Morgan, but we need a familiar character that's around Ezekiel, since Ezekiel always has, whenever he goes out to fight, he always has a bunch of characters with him, a bunch of guards with him. We need a secondary character that's around Ezekiel, that's one of Ezekiel's guards that survives for a long time, that we know, you know, it can't just be a bunch of background people that die over and over and over. And I think Jerry is that perfect character to last for a while. I think he can almost definitely make it to season 9. Now, season 9 is another story. But as far as season 8 goes, I think he'll live. I think he's gonna be like the tear bait, or like the fear bait. Like he's gonna scare everyone. The writers are gonna keep putting him in dangerous situations, and we're gonna think he's gonna die, but he's not. You know, other characters might die that we don't suspect. We think that Jerry's gonna die in one scene, and then he doesn't, so we're relieved. So we let our guard down, and then someone else dies, and we're like, oh shit, you know, I thought it was going to be Jerry, you know, they got us, you know. I think they're going to do that a few times this season, because this season is not even a quarter of the way over yet, and it's all out war. I can guarantee you, like 100 named characters are going to die, you know, maybe not 100, but 50 named characters are going to die. So, they want to save some people for, the other 3/4, and they're going to keep putting Jerry in danger, but Jerry is not going to die. He could, I don't know, but I suspect he won't. Because Ezekiel needs someone to survive. He needs a guard, someone that protects him to survive. It's just, as an audience, we need a secondary character around Ezekiel. Since Ezekiel always has guards and people with him, they're fighting with him, we need someone to survive, and I think Jerry will be that character because he's so goddamn popular. I feel like his story isn't over yet. It's too soon to kill him off. He is one of the most popular characters in the show right now, at least as far as like secondary, newer characters go. He's one of the most popular ones. Almost everyone loves him. I don't want to put words into people's mouths, but from what I'm hearing, a lot of people like Jerry, and a lot of people are like terrified whenever he's put in any kind of danger. So he's a really popular secondary character, and he's basically like the main source of comedy right now. Like, he's the main source of comic relief. In a season like this, where it's war and a lot of people are dying, you do need the comedy. So I think Jerry might be the funniest character on the show. Like, I mean, maybe not as funny as Abraham was. Abraham was kind of dry and sardonic and just said like all kinds of crazy shit. But besides Abraham, I would say Jerry is the funniest character that the show has ever had. Just every word he says is great. It's just comedy gold. They tried to make Negan funny, but they took some lines from the comics. They took a lot of lines from the comics, and they tried to adapt it word for word, and I just don't think it worked. But Jerry was a successful secondary character. He's just funny as shit, and you need that comic relief in All Out War. You need that comedy. You need you need that source of comedy, and Jerry is a character that a lot of people like, and a lot of people get scared whenever he's in attacked by walkers or attacked by saviors. The writers can use that. It's kind of like they did with Glenn. Like they had Glenn almost die like 1,000 times, and there was people out there that got scared every time Glenn almost died. So like all 1,000 times, every one of those times where Glenn almost died, people got scared. Now I feel kind of racist because they're both. What is Jerry? Japanese? Fuck, I just got even more racist. I don't know. I think he looks Japanese. I don't know. But, I mean, it is kind of weird that Glenn died, and then the next episode we meet Jerry. Racism. Not really, but, I don't think he's going to die in Season 8. I really don't. I think they're going to keep putting him in dangerous situations, but they're not going to kill him off. Now, Season 9, here's where I'm struggling on his survival. You do need deaths in Season 9. The war will be over. The main all-out war between the Saviors and everyone else will be over. But then the Whispers are going to come, and Alpha and Beta are going to come. We do need secondary characters to make it that far so that they can die in Season 9. So that we can have this, several years of peace, and that just gets destroyed horribly by these Whispers. Not destroyed, but threatened, Like characters have let their guard down because they're happy and at peace. And now all these tragedies are happening because these characters are getting killed when they've been safe for several years, when society has been rebuilt for several years, when Rick has done all these things, and not just Rick but everyone, they've rebuilt all these things and set up this safe passages between communities, and no one has really died in a while and everyone's been safe. And then the Whispers show up and they just shatter that, and they kill a lot of characters that we care about, so that we can have the Whisperer War, which I do believe we will have that in the show. I think Scott Gimple has said that he wants to do it. I think it's they've made it this far. They're definitely going to make it to the Whisperer War. The Whisperer War could start at the end of Season 9. So that's like maybe 18 months away, maybe 24 months. Not even 24 months away. We could be looking at the Whisperer War in 18 months. 18 months. So, I guess probably 24 months, 2 years. Well, no. Yeah, we could be looking at the Whisperer War in 18, 20 months. At the end of Season 9, the first half of season 9 will be the peace, and then some characters go out, and then they get captured by the Whisperer, some of them get killed, and then one comes back, and then they all think that guy's crazy for talking about people, talking walkers, which I don't know how they're going to do that in the show, because it's just not going to be realistic. You can't do what they did in the comics and have it be like, talking zombies. You're gonna know that they're people wearing masks. But the first half of the season, it's gonna be like the threat of the Whisperers. Maybe episode 4, episode 5, we're dealing with the threat of the Whisperers. We've first been introduced to the Whisperers, and then we meet Alpha and Lydia, and I guess Beta. Beta is introduced a little later in the comics, like a few issues later. By the time Beta's around, the heads on spikes have already happened, I think. And by the mid-season finale, by episode 8, we're going to have the heads on spikes. And I do believe that one of those spikes will be Ezekiel. Probably Ezekiel and Rosita. Look, if they went through the trouble of giving Glenn his comic death, Spencer, a lot of other characters, I can almost guarantee they're going to give Ezekiel and Rosita their comic deaths. And I can almost guarantee it'll be the mid-season finale of season 9, because it's just the perfect time to do it. It's the perfect cliffhanger for the 2 months. People are going to be like, oh my god, And I think by then you could complete Rosita and Ezekiel's story arc. The war has been over. They're at peace with their demons. They've been happy for several years, and then they get decapitated. It's just a perfect tragedy. And, I could just imagine, Andrew Lincoln just, his whenever he gets really upset, he just has that face, like that traumatized face like he had when Glenn died. Like he's just looking at all these heads on spikes with that face, that look of horror. And then he sees Rosita's head, and then he sees Ezekiel's head. And the thing about Jerry is that, is Jerry not going to be around when it happens? Is Jerry going to be trying to protect Ezekiel? What if Ezekiel and Jerry died back to back? Like they fight the Whisperers and then they both get decapitated. Or Ezekiel dies and Jerry's not around, and then Jerry sees Ezekiel's head on the spike, and then Jerry just goes like full rage mode, like full angry Jerry mode, and then he wants to fight the Whisperers, and he's one of because in the comics they kind of build like an army, like they get like a military force together to fight the Whisperers and to kill all the walkers that get sent out to them. Jerry could be a part of that army. For me, it could go both ways. It could go Ezekiel dies either way. It's just a question of, will Jerry be one of the heads on spikes? Will Jerry be around when Ezekiel dies? If Jerry does not get his head on a spike, I could say that he would live to season 10, because I think the Whisper War will carry out into season 10. Like maybe like the back half of season 9 is the characters preparing for that. It's about Negan going out, killing Alpha, bringing her head back, Beta taking charge, all these setups and all that. And we'll have a little bit of the Whisper War at the end of season 9, and then the rest of it in the first half of season 10. And Jerry could be a part of that, since Jerry's angry. Jerry wants to avenge Ezekiel's death. So, and then by then I think Jerry would die, because it'd be kind of like this tragedy, because at that point Jerry's not even funny anymore. He's so angry about Ezekiel's death that he's just out for bloodlust. He just wants to kill all these Whisperers. And maybe he gets sloppy and he gets bitten by a walker, or he gets killed by a Whisperer. Maybe he just goes out in a blaze of glory with his axe and is just like killing Whisperers left and right. Maybe he kills like 20 of them in anger and is like, for Ezekiel, and then he gets killed by Beta or something, so I like, Beta killing Jerry. That'd be cool. So if Jerry is going to die, it's either going to be season 9 or season 10. It's either going to be his head is on a spike with Ezekiel, because remember, in the comics there's 12 heads, and I suspect it'll be like that. It might be less, but it's going to be more than 2. it's going to be more than Ezekiel and Rosita. So Jerry could be one of the heads on spikes, or Jerry could be angry that Ezekiel's head is on a spike. Jerry is not one of the heads on the spikes, and then Jerry goes full bloodlust, like full Krogan, like just blood rage, and he wants to avenge Ezekiel's death, and then he's a part of like the military force that fights the Whisperers during the Whisperer War, and then Jerry dies in season 10. He dies fighting in the Whisperer War, possibly getting killed by Beta. So I'd say it's either this head on spikes in season 9 or get killed by Beta in season 10. I don't know which one. I'll have a better guess once we get to season 9 and I see where their story arcs are going. You know, is Jerry going to always be like guarding Ezekiel? And he could always be guarding Ezekiel, but Jerry could do something like just going off on like a ride, because it's like a fair thing that they're doing when the heads on spikes happens. You know, Jerry could be going on like a ride or something, or doing something fun, so he's not around when Ezekiel gets killed, because he thinks this is the one time where everything will be safe, everything will be fine, so he's not guarding Ezekiel when Ezekiel gets decapitated. Maybe that gives him some guilt, and that can turn into even more anger, even more rage, which would end up making him even more sloppy when he finally does die during the Whisperer War, when he finally gets killed by Beta. I think it'd be more interesting if Jerry survives to season 10, where he witnesses Ezekiel's, head on a spike, and it just traumatizes Jerry. It breaks his heart. He feels that guilt. He feels that anger. He blames himself for not being able to protect Ezekiel, for letting his guard down one time because of the fair. And then he wants to avenge his death. So he goes out just full rage mode, becomes a part of the military force, fights the Whisperers, then gets killed while fighting the Whisperers. Because people do need to get killed in the Whisperer Wars, in the Whisperer War. You can't just have the deaths from the heads on the spikes. You're going to have a few casualties in the Whisperer War, and it can't be Andrea because she's been long dead, and that's a death in the comics during the Whisperer War. So there's Father Gabriel. I think Father Gabriel will probably get his comic death, but you can't just have it be Father Gabriel. It's got to be someone else. So I think Jerry would be the perfect moment for him to die during season 10. While he's like fighting like 50 Whisperers with his battle axe, he kills half of them, then gets killed by Beta. If I was writing the show, that would be the moment that I would have him die. Because by then, that's a decent lifespan for a secondary character. That'll be his 4th year. I think it would like complete his story arc in an interesting way. He's not just like there for shits and giggles. He actually has like a serious death, a serious storyline after Ezekiel dies. And I think that would be an awesome, badass way to go out, for him to just go out like a warrior, because he looks like a warrior, and he pretty much is a warrior. So for him to get like a warrior's death, but there's also the element of tragedy, where he's been sloppy, so Beta is able to get him from behind. Because he's so angry and so full of rage, he's not quite thinking clearly, so Beta is able to kill him. I think that would be the perfect death for Jerry. So, I don't know. I could flip a coin right now as to which death he would get. He could be one of the heads on spikes. I don't know. I'll have a better idea when we get further into the story and we get closer to that moment. We see where the story arcs are going. We see where Jerry and Ezekiel are going as characters. I might have a better idea of which death Jerry will get, when Jerry will die. But for right now, I'm going to guess season 10, after Ezekiel's dead, during the Whisperer War. He's gonna go out like a warrior, and he's gonna get killed by Beta. That's my theory for how Jerry will die. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna make a shitload more of Walking Dead videos. I'm gonna do some other videos, do some video game playthroughs. Please subscribe. Please help me get to 250 subscribers. That's my first goal. And to those of you that have subscribed, I appreciate every single one of you. I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Let's get to 250. I appreciate all the support. Please share my channel around. There's Trev Shan, there's Ronnie Hayes, and then there's me. I'm the third motherfucker. I'm gonna get that 100K subscribers. You're gonna see it happen. So just spread the word. Tell everyone about this badass channel named Dude Guys who makes all these badass Walking Dead videos. I'm gonna stop sucking my own dick because it's annoying me as much as it is annoying you right now. But anyway, that's my theory. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, please subscribe and please tell me what you think of Jerry dying. When do you think he will die? I would love to hear it. I read every single comment, so please let me know what you guys think. Anyway, I'm Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye!